Welcome to Rugby Chat for yet another year. For Dunedin this week, we've got our first playoff in, I'll talk to Roger, I think it's about 11 or 12 years, probably even more since we've had a playoff game here in Dunedin. And so we're going to talk to Roger Clark. Welcome along, Rog, from the Highlanders. He's the CEO. And we're just going to chat about what's going on with the Highlanders. So mate, first things first, is everybody going to get a seat?
Well, I don't know about everyone gets a seat. We've sold a lot of seats in the first couple of days, Paul. Up over 20,000. We've got a couple of thousand left in the Mitre 10 stand, and all GA at $25, but it's gone really well. Really impressed.
So you've still got, as of say tomorrow, so we'll be talking, so Thursday, so as of Wednesday night, you've sold just over 20.
Yeah.
And then, will that get, so if you've got another 2,000, say 1,500 to go tomorrow,
yeah,
will that get you through to will that get you through to Thursday night?
Yeah, I think so. Like we were down to, I think we sold 8,000 or 8,500 tickets on, what was it? I keep forgetting the days and I get lost up in the days. On the Tuesday, yeah. And only sold about 900 today. So if we keep going at that rate, we're probably going to tick along the same rate and hopefully get everybody a seat by come Saturday.
Okay, so we've got, if you get another influx tomorrow and say Friday, you say you could get, say, another 600, 1,000 in, is there any chance of us putting some sort of plan at the other end and then the unemployed ODT stand?
Unemployed ODT, no, we're not looking at that. I mean, we get to the stage when we get 23,000 people in there that it's a matter of making sure the people that are paid get a really good experience. It takes about 2 weeks to put that stand up fully. Yep. We've looked at putting it up temporarily to a certain level, and really it's not financially viable, but as much as that, logistically it's not really, it's a bit late in that piece to do it. So we'll fill that space like we have in the past and just try and give everybody that's paid for a ticket a good experience.
Will there be dramas? Now, a few people have rung me today and said, look, with the students being away and that, I know that affects the stadium employee numbers.
Yes.
Will they run out of booze? Because that's the first thing people have asked me today.
Well, they definitely won't run out of booze. I was talking to Millie from Space today and he said he's got about another 30 or 40 kegs he's loading in there, so he won't run out of booze.
That's a good thing. And will they have enough staff then?
Yeah, look,
Terry and his crew have enough staff on?
Yeah, look, I think that is definitely a challenge for them with the university break coming up, but the message we got at our meeting yesterday, our briefing yesterday, and we've got another one tomorrow, was that both the security, or mainly the security and the catering were challenged, but they were happy that they were going to get there. Yeah.
Right. So look, so we're going to get 22,000 along. So look, in terms of you and your board, what parameters did you set for your coaches and your team at the start? Do you know that you did make a playoff game last year? I think it was in Africa last year.
Yes.
So where did you want your team to be this year?
Yeah, look, it's an interesting one. We don't actually set a goal as a board and a management team. As a coaching team and a team, they set the goals.
Yep.
We've got a lot of faith in Jamie and his team to. Obviously, we don't employ them to lose, and they don't. You know what they're like. I mean, Jamie and all the others are so competitive; they always want to win. But realistically, the team have set themselves a goal to be in the playoffs again,
right.
and obviously want to go further. I mean, they believe they're good enough to go all the way, and that's where we want to go. But it's such a tough competition that every year you go into it, and there's 15 teams that are good enough to win on their day. And I think if you look at the finals, we're confident we can beat every team in the competition, but I'm sure all the other teams are as well.
Yeah. So where are we at? So where are you at with your team in terms of, Jamie will probably be naming a team at some stage tomorrow?
Yeah, team tomorrow, yeah.
So you'll have, so Fekitoa, is he okay with his groin strain?
Yeah, back in contention, so I think a few of the guys, Reddish and Wheeler and Fekitoa are all back in contention.
So that gives you another couple of locks to pick from. That'll help you.
Exactly, and old Nacho's back there in contention. He's trained all week, so it's going to give Jamie some a bit of trouble when it comes to selection.
So and Waisaki came off last weekend, but that was just precautionary from what I could see.
Yeah, look, he seems to. I mean, he couldn't work out. I think Heppers said in the paper that it was his knee, so we've been giving him all a hard time all week. There's nothing wrong with his elbow because it actually is his knee.
Well, Heppers got it wrong.
Yeah, Heppers got it wrong, but he's training. He's trained during the week, and And look, he'll.
Okay, so
the interesting thing is, Paul, they all want to play this week, so no one's been anywhere near.
Okay, so Joe Wheeler is going to, and Reddish are both going to be available for selection.
Yeah, available for selection. Whether they're selected is up to the big fella, I suppose.
Well, you'd have to say to yourself, because you've lost Tom Franklin, so that was a bit of a loss, and that'll be a loss for Otago down the track. But Alex Only, I mean, he's been a superstar for you the last few weeks.
Yeah, look, Alex played really well through Tasman's ITM Cup, and I know that Jamie's been really impressed with what he's brought to the table in the last few weeks.
He's certainly, he's not a big guy, but he's aggressive.
Yeah, he's big enough.
He's big enough.
When I'm standing next to him, he's big enough, but he's not big. He's not big compared to Brody Patella.
Yeah.
But yeah, his work rate's really high. He's got a big ticker, and he's been great for us.
Right. So where do we go? So what happens with? Where are you in terms of where you are with your coaches for next year? In terms of your contracts and all that sort of stuff.
Yeah, look, we've pretty solid. I mean, all our coaches are in place again for next year.
So there'll be no change in your coaching structure?
No, look, we'll look at tweaking our coaching structure as we always do. I mean, Jamie's attitude and the management team's attitude is always that we have to be better every year.
Yep.
Every other team will be, so if we don't get better, we won't keep doing what we're doing now. So we look to keep tweaking that, but the nucleus of our group is together, and 26 of the players that we wanted are all together for next year as well.
So let's talk about those players. So who are you, is there any big name? What's happening with Wasaki Nahoa, for example? He's definitely going to stay at this stage?
Yeah, look, Wasaki's keen to stay for a couple of years and sign with the Highlanders and New Zealand, and obviously there's been talk about him being an All Black contention, and it'll be interesting to see what happens on Sunday when that team's named. He's still working through his situation with Clermont, but he's made it pretty clear that he's not.
So is there anybody you've got to replace? You've obviously got to replace Nasi because he's gone. Yeah. Who else are your big losses?
Yeah, look, I mean, at this stage, Nasi is the big loss. He's the only one that we're losing that we would like to have kept.
Yeah.
But obviously, it's time for Nasi and us to move on now, and that'll be a position that obviously Jamie and his coaching team will be looking at through the ITM Cup. Okay,
so at this stage you're in a pretty good position, obviously coaching wise and obviously player wise, because I think last year we had to bring in quite a few players. So there'll be less players coming in this year, coming in next year.
We've still got about 6 players to sign in our full squad, and then another 6 players obviously then will be signed in the wider training group. So those 12 players will potentially come out of ITM Cup.
Right. Okay. Okay, so that's where that's at. A few more questions, mate, but I'll quickly move on to some of the things I've got to quickly do tonight. We're going to talk some club rugby. I'm going to make some changes to our team. I'm going to put Tay Walden, who's one of your players. He's going back into this team because he actually played on Saturday. Aleki Morris didn't, so he's the only change in the back. So Tay Walden, has he been? Because I didn't see him being picked for the Southern team I saw today. Has he got an injury or something?
I'm not sure about that, but no, he's a good boy, so good to see him up there.
That's right. In the forwards, I'm making a few more changes. Stu Young from Zingaree comes out because they got beaten on Saturday. Donald Brighouse goes back in there. James Lynchies is coming onto the side of the scrum for Jack Wolfries. Now he's one of yours. He sort of was a rising star and then he disappeared. What's happened to him on your team?
Yeah, he got injured, but in saying that, James is signed for next year, so he's going to form a part of our unit next year as well.
So he'll be part of the main squad?
Part of the main squad, yes.
Right. We're dumping Jackson and Momopo, another one of your players. He's out. Josh Clark, I think, deserves a run from Pirates. Right. Now, so where's Jackson? So he's still in that wider training squad?
Yeah, look, Jackson's been brought in because of injuries, and he'll stay there, and obviously we'll be watching him closely through ITM Cup.
Right. Now we're dumping both our locks. Harley Tipol, the ageing Harley Tipol is gone.
Harley be pleased not to have to play lock.
Webster's gone. Now, why did you bring Elliot Tong? I put him back into this team. Why have you've got him tied up in your team as well?
Yeah, look,
what have we seen in this kid? Because he wasn't even in the Otago squad at that stage.
No, look, he's somebody that I know Corey Brown was looking at. So
just a bigger guy.
Yeah, we needed a guy in there, like more a ball carrying lock, just to cover Tom Franklin. And so he was brought in just to have a look at him, and he's back at club rugby now. So See how it goes.
And I'm putting in Mark Reed Dunny at a big game for Dunedin weekend. So that's our changes. We'll quickly, get you to, in fact, I'm going to get you to be the guest selector in the ODT on Friday since you hit it
I
on.
might have lost to you last year.
You probably did.
Disappointing.
And chances are you'll possibly lose again. So we're going to, the game's on this weekend. Dunedin Southern.
Ooh, my friend Pipes is going to have me for this one. I'm going to take Southern there.
Tell you now, Southern will win in the canter. Dunedin aren't there. Uni, this is probably the harder games around. Uni, Tyrone.
Yeah, I think a few of my neighbours will kill me for this one too, but I'm going to take Uni there.
Yeah, that'll be tough. Tyrone coming back to full strength, there'll be nothing in there. Alhambra Union Harbour.
Yeah, no, I'll take Harbour there. Yeah.
Too easy?
Yeah, too easy.
Kaika and GI.
Yeah, no, I'll have to take Kaika there, yep.
And I think the hardest one to pick of the whole round is Zingaree and Pirates.
Yeah, that's a toughie, eh? Oof, I'll go with Pirates, eh?
Just looking at Pirates, we've got that now. Craig Miller's been, and you probably won't know this, but Craig Miller's been in this Form 15 for the whole year. Now, he was a guy on the fringes of your side, so why, when you're having all these prop crisis going on, was Craig Miller looked at?
No, not through this season, but he was obviously involved last year and went really well. To be fair, got a bad injury, so it wasn't.
But it's taken a long time.
Yeah. But really keen. And to be fair on Craig, he's got obviously got a good job, so he's working as well.
Yeah.
But training away, and we'll see how he goes in ITM Cup.
So you'll obviously
definitely looking for props for next year.
Obviously he'll start for Otago.
Yeah.
So you guys will keep a pretty close eye on him.
Well, we're going to be keeping a pretty close eye on him because we'll need a couple of props from ITM Cup to fill our squad. Yeah. So. Okay, let's just come back to this game on the weekend. So, look, do we have a chance? I read some of that stuff that Hippers wrote on Monday. Look, can we, Deirdre, if we get past this game? Let's take that as we get past this game. Is it possible? Any chance of us getting a home final? Yeah, there's an outside chance, but the bottom line is, it's one game at a time for us. And the Chiefs, I mean, the games over the last 5 years that I've been involved with the Highlanders with Jamie, every game's been close except the one in Invercargill where, they had a weekend team and, we went really well. But it's going to be a really tough game in the weekend, and if we can win that, then we'll go to either Sydney or Wellington the following week, and really the boys will take it 1 week at a time.
Yeah, you'd have to have. For us to get the home final, the Brumbies would have to keep winning. Basically.
The Brumbies would have to keep winning, and that's going to be tough because they're going to be away. Go to Africa, and then they're going to.
Crusaders did them no favours there.
Not at all.
But look, okay, so look, so where it sits, I mean, this team's performing pretty well. They're playing the Chiefs. The Chiefs have had a lot of injury problems though. And I see they've still got a few injury problems. Brad Weaver's going to start, then again, Brad Weaver's played well for them all year, but they brought in an unnamed halfback as backup. And but will they going to get players back? I hear the big whopper could be starting.
Yeah, look, I've got no idea, but I know that if you go through their teams player for player, as us amateur selectors do, there'll be nothing between the two teams, and whoever prepares best and obviously plays best will win it. And I don't think there's anything between, not just out the two teams in the weekend, but if you go into the other game against the Brumbies and the Stormers, anyone could do that one as well. And we'd probably back ourselves to do the same against the Waratahs and the Hurricanes as they would against us. So it's going to be a great final series.
And it will. So we get through this, as you say, it's either we're either going to play the Stormers, which wouldn't be a great.
No, we'll go
to. The Stormers?
No, we'll go to either the Waratahs or the Hurricanes, one of those two. And the Stormers or the Brumbies will go to the other team, depending on who wins.
Okay, so look, there it is. Look, there's a couple of big games. Obviously, the big game this weekend, Highlanders versus the Chiefs. Look, I'm a lot more confident than Roger. I think we win this game. We're not going to win this game easy, but I wouldn't be surprised if we win 13 plus. And in the big game this weekend, which is Tyree up against Varsity, both these sides coming back to full strength. Look, I tend to go with Roger Weaver, but I might take Tyree to win that by 2, and we'll be back and talking to you again next week. Done. There it is, just like that.